now standing in what was originally the living room of the house for the Blairs. It's the largest single room in the house. It is centrally located opposite the double curved staircase that comes down from the second floor, continuing the axis which I've mentioned before, which comes down the steps across this room, across the terrace, and all the way down toward Ravine Lake. The doors on either end continue on through the library, what they called an enfilade, meaning a series of rooms through which these connecting views from these connecting doors could be seen. We're looking there into the salon. Those doors enter into this living room, which has its two fireplaces. These are not original fireplaces. And then continuing on through the opposite side of the living room into the library with its Italian walnut paneling. And then from there, it continued out into the morning room and out to the Belvedere on a straight line. From the center window in the living room, the view will take you down across the terrace and immediately down beyond that balustrade, down the steps toward Ravine Lake. The view in that direction is toward Pluckerman, Far Hills, on towards Somerville, Bridgewater, and on eventually down toward Princeton, which was Mr. Blair's alma mater in 1890. Turning now, we'll go across the hall, up the main staircase of the house. With its double curved staircase. If you can pan, you can see the double curved staircase leading up to this beautiful rotunda with elaborate plasterwork at the top, with a lighting fixture which was basically a converted censer from Europe, bronze and silver. We'll go upstairs briefly and I'll point out the two ends of the second floor and how that floor was organized for the family and guests. This is quite interesting. For Mansion in May, the decorator of this room recreated on the floor in a stencil the beautiful plasterwork in the rotunda of the stair hall.
So I heard this is a big transition right here.
Yes, this area where I'm standing now is the main cross hall on the second floor. When guests would be coming downstairs for dinner, they'd be leaving the bedroom area of the house and they'd enter this area with its very elaborate mant columns, which are now a transitional place before heading down the grand staircase to the main floor, the more public rooms of the house. Here in the cross hall on the second floor, to this end was the family wing of the house, and the Blair's bedroom was the far end overlooking the lake. There's an atrium room upstairs, kind of a living hall, if you will, for the family. And then from this doorway that you see in front of you, leading this direction, was more of the guest rooms of the house for the family's many, many guests. Notice the louvered doors on the outside. Each bedroom had a solid door on the inside and a louvered door on the outside. In warm weather, the louvered doors could be closed at night, allowing air circulation throughout the house. The house had a very elaborate, state-of-the-art technology from its big inception. In 1903, the house had electricity, never had gas. It had its own generating plant initially. Everything about the house was state-of-the-art. It had poured concrete floors from attic to basement, a steel superstructure, elevators, an intercom system, a convection heating and cooling system, which was provided beautiful even heat with no sense of rattling radiators. So it was very much state of the art. This would have been cutting edge at its time. As we come down the hallway, let's go down to the family end of the floor briefly. The Blairs had 4 daughters, no sons. They were all young girls when their family moved here. This is the atrium area on the second floor. Notice the skylight. This is kind of the widest section of the house, a matched area to the other end of the floor, and to bring sunlight into these interior spaces. The Blairs had skylights installed at both ends of the house. Otherwise, this would be a very, very dark room. The atrium, this very much captures the sense of a Roman villa, if you will, with an open, of course, in Roman times, they would have had an open to the sky centerpiece of the villa, in the atrium, with rooms surrounding it. And the same effect is done here, except here, because of our northern climate, we have to have a skylight, not open to the sky. And bedrooms and other rooms surround this. This would have been kind of a gathering hall for the family primarily, a fairly private space, not usually open to the guests. Behind you was the original cedar closet for storage of clothing and what have you. And down this hallway, which led originally to rooms for the governess and the lady's maid, but on the left-hand side you can see the steel grille of the one of the 2 elevators in the house. This one being used primarily for transportation of luggage and furnishings up and down the various floors of the house. It was a hand rope pulley system, counterbalanced, to allow someone simply to pull the rope to pull the elevator up and down.